Hello and welcome back to Leeds United, where we are in December in game, and this video may have been uploaded on a different day to the one I said it would originally. I'm already having second thoughts about the scheduling of this, and that's mostly because I kind of want more myself. So if this has gone up on a Tuesday, then going forward it's going to be Tuesday, Friday, alongside the Monday, Thursday of the F1. If it's gone up on Wednesday, then status quo. As for Leeds, I'll rip the band-aid off. We're not top. That's mostly because I've been trying to give this sequel series its own identity in terms of formation. And after bolstering our team with an array of midfielders, I probably made a formation that didn't use any. We've also had an alarming amount of red cards so far. It's three actually. 2 in the Premier League, 1 in the Champions League, 2 for the same player, Valeri. I don't know why. He's not that aggressive. He's relatively aggressive, but he's not that aggressive. But yes, after much deliberation and research and really just a design to move away from the 3 at the back system, just because that's what the first part of this series did, we've settled on the revolutionary 4-3-2-1. It's basically the West Ham formation with slightly different instructions. And Dick is suspended for yellow cards for the Arsenal game. They are 10th though, so it's not too bad, and we are 4th on 37 points, Everton also on 37, Chelsea on 35 behind. It's quite tight. Newcastle in 3rd, finally making the money work. But it is a Liverpool versus Man City title race as things stand. We have only lost once, and that was to, ironically, West Ham. And that was one of the early games in which we tried a 4-3-2-1. I refuse to call them 4-3-3, by the way. It's not a 4-3-3. But you can see from this result list, clean sheets have been an issue. Now, bear in mind, I've not played this save since the winter patches, basically. I don't know if that's a winter patch issue or not. So because we can't seem to keep a bloody goal out, I've just decided to settle on a strategy of try and score more. So we've got the 4-3-2-1, there's a 4-3-3, and then we've still got the original formation sat in 3rd there. But should say, Champions League going all right. That's why I didn't bother bringing you. We actually ironically lost the match that I would have brought you, which was to Barcelona, who haven't had a good time of things. 2 of each in terms of their results, 2 of each. Before the Barcelona game, we had more points than Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atletico combined. Now we don't, obviously, because they beat us. But I think Atletico won their game in that game week 2. Real Madrid didn't, though. Real Madrid have 4 points after 6 games. Sevilla won theirs, actually, in that one. So actually, 3 of the 4 Spanish teams did win in game week 6, but not Real Madrid, who remain 29th. Man City are 22nd. The Champions League is wild. Marseille ahead of PSG on head-to-head. They haven't played each other. But all that doesn't really matter too much now, just because we are up against Arsenal here. And who is my next best left footer? Strauk, I think it's meant to be pronounced. Oh, Milovanovic has taken a knock. But Milenkovic is back from an injury, so what we lose in Ndicka, we gain in Milenkovic. That's not too bad. Karnasecki, who has, I think, 4 clean sheets all year so far after getting 18, I think, last year. I think he's only got 2 in the Premier League, and he had 18 in the total last year. But Karnasecki in goal, Valeri, Strauk, Milenkovic, Gottsling on the right back, who is my first choice right back. Don't know why he's sad. Oh, he's supporting Thiago Almada and also Julian Ord about his playing time. Thiago Almada wants a new contract, but he is demanding 200,000+ a week, which is basically 100,000 more than anyone else. So obviously, he's not getting it. But Phillips, Milinkovic-Savic, Szoboszlai, Pedro, Moukoko, and Nketiah. Thankfully, Pedro and Moukoko can function as inside forwards. That's what we're going to be using for. So after getting rid of all of our wingers, we're now playing them again. A point that was made abundantly clear when Talas Magno scored against us for Newcastle. Nice to see him back, nice to see him flourish, just not against us. The thing with Thiago Almada is, he wants 200 grand a week, more than 200 grand a week. I don't know who'd pay that for him. Like, we've got some star players. Pedro is obviously our best one and does actually skew everyone else's star ratings a little bit. But I don't think Almada would get in ahead of, say, someone like Odegaard. So I don't think he's worth that, even for the teams that would pay that. I've actually been playing with the sideline camera just for sort of tactical purposes more than anything, just so I can see a little bit more of the pitch and understand what's going on from a tactical point of view in sort of trying out new formations and what have you. But yeah, as I say, we've settled on 4-3-2-1 because it seems to work, and we seem to, at the very least, win the games with that more often than not. That's bounced bizarrely in fall to Ramsdale. The thing we tried to sign at one point but didn't pan out. He was in forward to Adeyemi. Milenkovic is under that. Phillips is then under that, and SMS can be fouled by Kraus. And Mokoko's in somehow there. He said, how did he hit the post? He was offside. Why did we see the highlight then? Tomiyasu back to Saliba, who is oddly Caucasian. Sambi Lokonga back to Gabriel. Smith Rowe. Also another one of those teams with not a lot of wholesale change to their team sheets. There's Tomiyasu smashing it in off the crossbar. I don't know what we're appealing for. He's clearly onside by this gentleman here. Whether anyone else was offside in the build-up, I don't know. I'm trying to work out what we could possibly be appealing for. I can only assume it's something to do with Adeyemi. We don't even see a highlight to sort of ascertain what that was all about. Of course, the fascinating thing here is that the one thing that this formation is definitely doing is not being shown right now. It's clearly onside, it's clearly fine. Yeah, basically the problem of, oh, they've got a free kick, there's a goal for them. Oh, wait, he was offside. Was he offside from the original free kick? Which I guess is actually what it's tracking off, because it wasn't a save by. Was it save? It was a save by Karnasechi. Suppose it still counts then. I thought we did have work ball into the box on. A ball's been put through from Nketiah, and Nketiah against his former team, with the slowest shot of all time, somehow still goes in. Sorry, Strout got the assist there, did he? That was a ball from Strout. Wow. Okay. Nketiah. Ramsdale not covered himself in glory there. Neither of any of the defenders who just didn't run after it and could have easily called up to it because could not have been rolling slower into that goal. What I was going to say before the disallowed goal from Kraus was the strength of this particular tactic is possession normally and passes in total. But yes, it seems like Arsenal have set up in a very similar manner and we're just sort of countering each other. Gabriel Sambi Lakonga has made his way into the first team, actually, worth mentioning there. Don't know whether that's just kind of desperation or his development as Saka just wanders through our defence. This is also part of the reason why I ditched the three at the back. We did start with three at the back in this. I did start with the three at the back and just intending to continue on, but once I realised defenders just don't function in this game, I figured why not just get rid of one of them and have another attacker somewhere. The only reason why I still have defenders at all is purely from a passing point of view and building up. I don't use defenders to defend, I just use them as an avenue of passing more than anything. Just so there isn't a big old gap between the goalkeeper and the midfielders, because quite frankly, they offer nothing otherwise. And it's not their fault, it's the game's fault. Pedro was injured at some point, didn't tell me. Both fullbacks being actually appalling as well is not a good sign. Amado doesn't even start in my team, let alone theirs. Now I realise. He's technically better than Szoboszlai actually, but I just like what Szoboszlai offers in the box-to-box. Sorry, in the CM attack and what SMS offers in the box-to-box. Szoboszlai. Well, that's unfortunate, and that's what is going on. Ghost is down to SMS. If anyone could just keep possession now, that'd be great. Thank you. Right, forward to Armada. He's in. Watch him actually do something now. I mean, it was an alright shot, but nothing really worth a highlight. Why are you telling me to put Colwell on as a right attacking midfielder? Why is that your suggestion? No, the answer's Gomez, and you put Nketiah over there. He's not got a great left foot, but it's better than anyone else's. Archie Gray comes on for SMS in the box-to-box. Charlie Bettino's developed to actually be a substitute. Nice to see, really, but if we could actually do anything, that would be great. Any highlight at all would be nice. All right, never mind. Now, welcome to the second loss of the season. Thank you for joining me. Szoboszlai is a legend. Gottschling and Valeri both get their yellow card warnings as well, which is hilarious, as we're about to go into the match against first-place Liverpool. Several players feel like you should give Julian Nord some games in the first team. Let me flip this back over to comparison, which I avoid when we're doing transfer talk. Okay, apparently he's better than Gosens, but worse than Valeri. Okay, well, he's going to start the next game then. Thanks, Tyler. By the way, I love that Calvin Phillips, who has obviously just spent the last 4 years at Manchester City there, was not on board with the answer of, if I let him play, then someone more deserving misses out, considering probably all might go to Valencia. We'll see. Oh, God, is it an African Nations year as well? Wait, do I have any? I don't think I have any African Nations players. Not on purpose, but oh yeah, I'll be unaffected by it. Evan Ndicka is French, and actually got a France cap recently. Whilst he does have Cameroonian, and technically could have declared for Cameroon up until this point, he actually did just get a France cap. Excuse these random reports on Portuguese teams, I'm scouting for the future. I love the fact that Morata has the most offsides, by the way. Sometimes Football Manager gets things right. He's playing for Leicester. I do notice he's saying Liverpool second. I just suspect that Manchester City have played their game. Oh no, they're all on 20 games played. So Man City top on merit now then. Merry Christmas, by the way. 25th of December there. Boxing Day is Liverpool. What a game to have on Boxing Day, by the way. Boxing Day, the match between the last two Premier League winners. Well scheduled. Well scheduled, Premier League. Well scheduled. As I tell Julian Nord to buck his ideas up. I feel a little bit sorry for Lovric because he was actually going to get a little bit more game time this year, and then I got rid of the defender. So now he's back to being fifth choice again. Well, he's always fifth choice, but somehow Aouar's gone backwards in fitness in the space of a week. He was actually good enough for 60 minutes last week, but I figured just still keep Archie Gray on the bench. Now he's only good for 45, so I don't know what's going on there. You can't see it behind my head, so that was irrelevant. But what a muppet Ord is. But he's going to play this game just by virtue of apparently being better than Gosens. I don't really understand why, but we'll run with it. We've had a full week off, so everyone's nice and fine. Karnasechi, Ord and Dick, Milenkovic, Livramento, Phillips, SMS, Szoboszlai, Pedro, Bakoko, Milovanovic is also back too. If Milenkovic could actually do better than a 6.6, that would be great. But yeah, it's kind of, despite the fact we're kind of solidly well, 5th, I guess, because Everton are on the same points. But in fact, they may have actually got points that we didn't get last week. I don't know in the end. I forgot to pay attention to the table. Yeah, we've actually slipped down to 6th, but even though we're solidly in the European spots this year, that is a disappointment from obviously being first last year, as that's intercepted about 17 times in the middle there before he eventually falls to a Liverpool player, because of course he does, and Livramento heads it aimlessly for Luis Diaz to gather, but he's got the ball back now and hoofed it once again aimlessly as Salah puts Caicedo through, and nobody bothers anything that resembles a tackle. You see what I mean about defending? It's the one thing I have noticed, and I have to assume it's something that's come around with the patches, that somehow something within the winter patches has just made defending utterly pointless. But Salah has the free kick, which isn't even really that close. Oh good, Szoboszlai's injured now, that's fantastic. So on top of the non-existent defending that the game has, they decided to injure one of my best players, but Almada comes on and technically strengthens that position, according to star ratings, but just because he's been a moody sod, I've not really prioritised him. Thasharm's far from pleased from what I've seen, mostly because I haven't seen anything. All I've seen is 2 Salah free kicks and a Caicedo chance. We're at home here. Oh, I mean, this was a waste of your time turning up to this one. Blimey, Pedro is tired. What does that mean for this, though? Well, Hakan comes on, Almada goes there. SMS is tired, which is not something I like. Tyler Adams needs to come on for bookings. Ord's been booked as well for good measure. And that's all 5 subs, so there we go. Off we pop. Milovanovic on the 6.3 survives the exodus there of players. Robin Gosens, don't know what you're doing there, but I should need to have a look at corners. It's the first chance I've seen from us. I'm now in don't lose territory. 3 minutes from the end, it's now just don't get a late highlight and let them score. But this is going to be a late highlight in which they score, isn't it? Well, it's ended up in our possession somehow there, but I can't explain the decision-making. Milovanovic hoofs it to Hakan, who gives it back to Milovanovic, who was effectively just left entirely there. Is this going to be reviewed? No, it's not even going to be reviewed. I thought it was going to be a tight onside. I figured he was onside. Don't get me wrong, the defending issue happens to both teams, but and like I say, you just got to hope that you score more than they do, basically. At the same time, that could just be spot on Trent coding in the sense that he has no idea where Milovanovic is. But he was sort of 2-on-1 there, poor Trent, and I mean, the lack of effort from him, not great. I need to always press Trent. Milovanovic is the one to clear that, I think. Abraham. Gray gets in the way of that one. Abraham again, who somehow acrobatically lasers that to Lacroix. Konate. Trent again. That's a ridiculous ball. For Rodrigo's first goal of the season. First goal of... Has he been injured? I hope he's been injured. Okay, first and foremost, what is Evan and Dicker doing? Milenkovic is on Abraham. Great. I presume that's Elliott behind... I thought it was Diaz. I guess they swapped wings. But actually, where is Elliott playing right now? Because Gray's on him. Hakan's that... Where's my right back? What is Livramento doing there? Livramento's basically back on the bench. That come from a throw-in from Livramento. It's a great ball, but I can't explain what Ndicka was doing. Milenkovic was kind of doing his job in the sense he was sort of keeping an eye on Abraham. And Gray had Elliott, who I think is his midfield matchup. But that all falls down to Livramento just being nowhere where he needed to be and Evan Ndicka being inexplicably in no man's land. Like, he wasn't close enough to Abraham to let Milenkovic track Rodrigo, and he wasn't close enough to the pass to intercept it. So he was sort of doing neither of the two things he needed to be doing. As Almada, with a corner in the 94th minute of 93, as Ndicka hits the post and the whistle is blown. Ndicka has scored an awful lot of goals. Player of the match, Rodrigo. He has played 15 games off the bench. When did they buy him? Because 51 million, I'd have bought him for that. He scored 10 times last year and 5 assists, and yet he's only got 1 assist in, 15 sub-appearances. He played most of the games last year. What's gone on with Rodrigo there? Well, it's 1-1, which, I'd have taken at the beginning of the day, but Everton have played a game more than us, but Chelsea, the ones that have snuck through. In the meantime, 3 to 4 weeks. Thanks for breaking Szoboszlai, Liverpool. By the way, I should say that Barcelona game, they had 3 shots and scored all 3 of them. We had 19 shots, but only managed to hit 5 on target, and we only scored 1. And it was Robin Gosens from a corner. I now remember. I forgot to actually follow up on that one and work out why Gosens was on the corner then, but he scored it, remarkably. I think basically switching to a fullback has pushed the relevant central defender out of the corner position, so I need to double check who's on that from that particular side. It seems like Ndicka is still receiving them from one side, but Gosens, for some reason, is receiving them on the other. Damn it, I really thought we'd won that one. Oh well. Should say, by the way, we are in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup, even though I have attempted to throw that competition 3 times. I rotated against Newcastle, 2-2 penalty win. Rotated against Aston Villa, 2-0, one of the only clean sheets we've had. And then with a stronger side, 2-2 in the league. And then I fully rotated against Fulham as well, and won 3-1. Well, rotated as much as I could anyway. Worst part is I actually want to try in the FA Cup because we haven't won that one yet. I think we have won the Carabao. Yeah, we won the Carabao last year. So purely in an endeavour to reduce the number of games we're playing, I tried to throw the Carabao Cup and failed. I can't even get that right. But that's it. I'll see you probably for that Carabao Cup final the way this is going. But yeah, in February somewhere, either Carabao Cup, there's a Man City game in the league. The European games will turn up around there again as well. So we'll return around February, early March, somewhere around there, and see how, maybe with a bit more persistence with one formation. We've been kind of flipping around, doing a bit of testing, bit of trying things out, and we've settled on the most standard of possible, really. But almost forgot. Sorry, Joel Linton. We did sell Joel Linton for 20 plus million. We sold him for 23.5 million to Norwich, which for a free agent, not bad flipping, really. This is mostly because A, we signed SMS, and B, Archie Gray is a viable option now. So Andre Santos already went as a rotation option, and now Joel Linton's gone as well. So we've gained 3 with Calvin Phillips and then lost 2. Gained 4. I kind of forgot about Hakan. Blimey, his physicals are dropping off. I thought natural fitness 16 might hold him on for a little bit there, but apparently not. But if you enjoyed this episode, do like, do comment, do subscribe. It all helps the algorithm. We know this by now. Everyone says it. Until next time, ta-ra.